enjoy Taco Tuesday as much as the next guy. But it's got nothing I tell you, on Serral Tuesday. That's right, I have that power. I've now named a day of the week after Serral. But what I don't have, apparently, is the power to stop these probe hatch blocks. But hold on, we've also got a rogue drone going out as well. We're gonna have to rush these intros so we can take a closer look here. Our Zerg player has not wished that his opponent has fun because he is Serral! His French Protoss opponent is PtitDrogo! Drogo is far less sincere. He types out his wish that his opponent have fun, but you can't have fun when your natural's already been stolen. Instead, Serral's drone will place his hatch at the third base. No, he doesn't. He's gonna drop it at the Protoss natural. Well, that's a different way of dealing with this. Color me intrigued. Drogo's got his gateway down. There's no chance he hasn't seen this. Meanwhile, Serral's trying to chase the probe out of his own natural. Drogo drops a pylon. Apparently, it's naturals for no one on Serral Tuesday. Strange things going down on Pillars of Gold. Second gateway for Protoss. He's taking this seriously. There's very little delay to that spawning pool for Serral. Oh, Drogo actually let the pylon complete. And now his probe's blocking the third. Oh, that drone is so disgusted. Did you see the gesture he made with his fin? Come on, gentlemen. We're never going to have a family audience like this. Cybercore is down for Drogo. We're waiting to see if that hatch is going to cancel. It's like everybody's just doubling down on these strats. And now Drogo invests in a pylon at the third. Serral's stuck sitting on a lot of minerals. He's going to have even more when his hatch cancels. The first zealot is out. He's going to go to work on that hatch. Serral finally gets his unnatural natural. It's at his fourth base location. Technically, it's a more defensible spot, but it's far away from his main base location. Oh, the hatch completed! The core completes, and we have double adept production. I would have thought, though, if Serral was letting the hatch finished, he'd be building lings out of it or a drone to make into a spine crawler. But I guess he's just using it to drizzle creep all over the Protoss natural. Drogo finds that Serral has indeed expanded. He's got to be happy with that. There's almost no way that Serral can shuttle queens between those two bases. Oh, back at the Protoss ranch, the adepts are about to pop. I don't really love this situation for Serral. Drogo may not have a natural, but he's going to have a lot of units with nothing to do but rush at the Zerg. Serral may try to micro the broodlings to see if he can get a kill here once that hatch goes down. You get 9 with the destroyed hatchery. That is a significant amount of firepower at this stage of the game. Here we go! He's going after the zealot! Can Serral get the kill? And no! So close, he almost snagged the first blood with that. 24 hit points left. And now there's 4 adepts shading away to counterattack the Zerg. Ling speed is not done. And his queens are not going to be able to jump back and forth between the two bases. What? The adepts are going home. Wait, what? Why? Oh, Serral started lings. He's using the leftover larva to hatch lings right into the base. Drogo recalls his adepts to save his base. This is brilliant. Serral has completely stopped the attack. He's going to finish off that zealot. It's going to be a first blood after all. And then the lings are going to get out of there before the adept cavalry can arrive. I think Serral may have just bought himself the critical seconds he needed to survive this game. He's got ling speed, he's got his queens in place, and he's getting his ling count up. Oh, and he left 1 ling behind to delay Drogo even further. Serral has found a way to rebound from a very challenging start. Drogo with the Twilight Council. It's gotta be resonating glaives, you would think. I recently cast a great game of Drogo versus Denver. Drogo busted out a very impressive glaive timing attack. It looks like that's what he wanted to do here, but his timing is already a bit messed up. Still, 5 adepts is nothing to sneeze at. Unless you got hay fever, then dude, just sneeze away, I don't care. There's the shade, going for the mineral line, there's the drone pull. The queens are going to work. Serral splits his lings, half on the shade, half on the real adepts. Drogo cancels the shade. He starts another one, the lings are on them. The lings have the pin. Oh, the carnage! I think only 2 got away. Yes, 2. I think I understand why Serral did not wish that his opponent would have fun. Drogo cannot be having any. Oh, he's warped in a Stalker to chase out this Overlord scout. He's gonna get it, I think. Will he? Yes! That's actually gonna supply block the Zerg. Though Serral will have seen the resonating glaives. He will not have seen the Warp Prism, though. Or the Dark Shrine. Serral's response to his scouting intel is to start a lair. He's gonna need that if he wants roach speed to deal with those glaives. And he's also started a roach warren. That lair tech, though, is gonna enable him to get overseers. Yeah, look at this. Drogo just adding to his adept count. I talk about this more in another video, but the idea is for your adepts to force your opponent to pump out a whole bunch of roaches. And then you have your robo ready to transition to immortals, and you throw in a couple of archons, just to protect yourself from the lings. That aforementioned roach warren is almost ready, by the way. Somehow, Serral's lings managed to pin Drogo's adepts last time, but he's gonna try again with even more. The adepts are just kind of standing around having a cup of tea while their shades do all the travel. I guess now they'll stop being lazy and walk on their own 2 feet. Their resonating glaives are prepared. So is the Warp Prism. Drogo's going to be able to reinforce this at will. He's got a bank available to do so. The adepts are getting ready to hit 2 spots at once, as only adepts can. There's the shade. The lings give chase while the real adepts pull back. And... oh, he completes it! But why? Serral has the pin again! Drogo's worked in DTs as well, but there's an Overseer. Oh, depths are completely cleaned up. As are the DTs. As Lando would say, this is about to become the shortest offensive of all time. That Warp Prism has a DT, but I don't think there's anywhere he can put that down. Now, Drogo is preparing that Immortal transition, but I think now he's going to need it more for defense than he is for attack. Okay, he's going to grab his third. That's a good call. If he can hold that, he'll be up on even basis. With only 2 drone kills, PtitDrogo is down 6 workers. I actually thought it would be worse. Serral somehow instantly knows a third base has gone up. His Overlord at the natural must have seen the probe go out. And now he's ripping up the defending units. Drogo comes in for the save. He's revealed his Immortal, though. And here comes his first Archon. I'm expecting Serral to respond by oh, he is going to take a 4th. Look at that. I successfully predicted a Zerg player would take a 4th base. They never do that. Completely unheard of. I'm a genius. The creep spread did not give that one away. No, sir. Drogo's sending out an Archon and 2 DTs. I think the purpose here is to try to delay Serral, give him a chance to get back on his feet. He drops right at the Queens, but the roaches are there. They're gonna have speed pretty soon too. It's a beam me up Scotty. Now he's using Observer to go after creep tumors. This is probably a little closer to his skill set right now. I'm not sure this crew can get much more than that done right now. As a sign of confidence, Serral's getting rid of his own protective rocks. And he's starting a Hydra Den. I could see him needing that to go after Drogo's rising Immortal count. With a worker lead of 14, Serral is significantly out-resourcing the Protoss right now. Drogo's in a bad spot. He needs to make a move before this gets out of control. But he doesn't have the army to do it right now. He needs to somehow lead Serral into a bad engagement. But we're talking about Serral. Not only does he not go on bad engagements, he doesn't even go on bad dates. Anywho, we got +1 missile attack coming up for the Zerg and +1 attack for the Protoss. That should put them largely even on upgrades, save for that Serral's also started the Groove Spines upgrade. He's going to add Hydra extra range into the mix here. Also a late addition of Overlord speed. But the real story is that a huge round of Hydras are being made right now. Drogo knows he needs to prep his defenses for his wide open third. Serral's getting ready to hit him, and it's going to be a tough hold. Whoa! Mass ventral sacs, baby! We don't get to see this that often anymore. Hello! And I thought my teenage acne was bad. This is looking like an old school Doom drop, people. It's not like you never get to see this anymore. It's just that ever since they patched it so you actually have to pay 25 minerals and 25 gas to morph the ventral sacs, you just don't see it nearly as much. So, Drogo doesn't know it, but we know it, and it looks like the attack might not be going at the third at all. And Serral's timed this so it's going to line up nicely with his Groove Spine upgrade. And here comes the Uber load. Oh, there isn't room on the bus for everyone. I think I get it. There's going to be a second force that's going to be available to hit the third if Drogo pulls off his defenders. Oh, Serral is maxed. He's got double the army of Drogo. This is just going to be ugly. Our pustules will blot out the sun. Oh, and the Overseer drops an unnecessary contaminate on the +1. You might say that was overkill. Ba-doom, boom. So Drogo's trying to marshal his army at his natural so he can defend his main before every last speck of his tech is wiped away. The immortal count is high. Oh, but I think Serral's just going to pick up on him. Is he, or is he going to fight him? Oh yeah, it's a pickup. And then when Drogo thinks he's cleaned up, here comes the attack on his third. Oh, I can't look. I mean, I totally am, but I can't look. Oh man, Serral's even preparing a follow-up of 28 Lings and 7 more Hydras. Oh, the recall might let him... No. Drogo doesn't want to be a punching bag any longer. He's GG'd. I'm sorry, but you cannot take Serral's second and third base location and expect it to be okay. Seriously though, I loved what Drogo was trying to do here. This was a version of the Glaive Rush Drogo busted out on Denver in a game I recently cast. I'll have a link to it at the end of this video in case you missed it. Only here, Drogo adds the element that he pylon blocks the Zerg at the natural second and third base locations to force the Zerg to have two very distant bases. This amplifies the power of the Adept. Zerg can't maneuver between the two bases quickly enough to properly defend against the will he, won't he shades that come out. But Serral's surprise Lings from the leftover larva and Drogo's natural, well, they surprised me at least, maybe you saw it coming, delayed Drogo's attack for critical seconds. It let Serral get his Ling speed finished. I'm sure the Night King would have found another way to survive if he didn't have that delay. But I feel like if he doesn't make those Lings and pull Drogo back, most players would have lost the game right there, or wound up so far behind, it's over. Going forward from that delay, Drogo doesn't help his cause when he repeatedly gets his Adepts pinned by Zerglings. On that second one, he either wasn't looking when he finished that all-important shade, or he somehow misjudged that he had enough firepower to defeat the Lings. I mean, Adepts with Glaives are supposed to carve through Lings. That's a lot of bonus damage against light with a very quick rate of fire. But I guess those were Serral Lings, so different rules. Anyways, here's what I really wanted to ask you guys about though. The new interface. You may have noticed the screen looked a little different. Blizzard has released a new way to observe games called Pro 2020. But we still have the old one called WCS. My question, which is better? The key difference is that Pro 2020 is a little bit bigger. That means it blocks more of the game. That is bad. But the idea is that it makes it easier to follow, especially if you're watching on your phone or if you're at a bar and farther away from the screen. That is good information we like. I also love a couple of additional features of the Pro 2020. Health and shields are spelt out and a lot easier to follow. Also, the numeric upgrade status doesn't rotate on and off the screen like it does in WCS. In Pro 2020, once a player gets a numeric upgrade, that info stays permanently on the screen. I love that. It didn't play into this game so much, but I think we'll see it in future games. The trade-off seems to be, though, that income per minute info is gone. And that I don't like. That's a really important stat for me. Supply may tell you who's ahead right now, but minerals per minute often tells you who's going to be ahead 30 seconds from now. That info is still there. You can still get it if you tab away for it, but that means you have to drop the production tab. And that's a lifeline when you're trying to follow a game. Anyways, I realize most of you probably don't care, but I'm all into it. I geek out on this stuff. If you've got a preference, do let me know. For now, I think I'll just go back and forth until I figure out which one to adopt permanently. I think you'll be seeing Pro 2020 at the ESL casted games, but that doesn't mean it has to be that way over here. Lastly, let me thank all the recent subscribers. You guys really helped me out, and I am grateful. To continue your StarCraft journey, Nova advises you to click the video in the upper rectangle. But Kerrigan warns you to watch your 6 and click the video in the bottom rectangle. Or you can stimpack your StarCraft experience. Subscribe to Zugzwang StarCraft. Just hit the circle. From my base to yours, Zugzwang out.